This is Lola Lee T. Hey everybody, on March 27th, 2022, episode of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 5, Episode 15. I really think that the entire episode should have just been about Ximena and Mike. And honestly, I've been waiting the entire week to find out if Mike was going to leave her house. Not only did Mike refuse to leave Ximena's house after she repeatedly asked him to do so, she even offered to pay his hotel room and she gave him back the rings. And Mike still wouldn't take no for an answer. I was screaming at my television. I was saying, Mike, no means no. The relationship is over. Leave. So this guy got mad because she gave him the rings back. So he tried to expose and shame her for the work she was doing as a webcam model. And remember, that's how he met Ximena. So the conversation goes like this. Mike says, so are you going back on that adult internet site you were on? And Ximena said, why not? Isn't that how I met you? Mike really thought that he was going to call Ximena out. Really, Mike? What is annoying to me is that during this little exchange, Mike forgot to expose himself. Why didn't he just say, so are you going back to the adult internet site where I met you? Many of you guys still think that Mike is sweet and innocent, but I think that he knows exactly what he's doing, allegedly. Now that the lie has been exposed, remember, we were all told that Ximena and Mike met on Tinder. He didn't tell us how they really met. And he's had a lot of time to come out and tell us. But Ximena came out and told us how they really met. And it is so strange to me that Mike has yet to make a video saying how they met. And I wonder if it's because he was embarrassed. But apparently this sweet, innocent guy was also visiting her on her webcam site daily. That's a lot of wanking. And I did do a video about a month ago telling you guys that Ximena had already spilled her own tea. And so many people were accusing her of lying. But she was not lying. And I believed her even then. So now there we have it. It's been confirmed. That's how he met her. We all saw the show. Like I said, I believed her from the very beginning because it made no sense that she would make up such a lie. But if you want to continue to believe otherwise, that's up to you. How strange when Ximena broke up with him. He wanted everything that he had ever given her back. Who does that? But then when she returned the rings, he said he would guard the rings until they worked things out. But then when she said no to the relationship again, he tried to shame her and said if it wasn't for him, she, along with her kids, would be out on the street. Yeah, I think Mike has a white savior complex going on. So she said she would go back to modeling, and we all know the rest. So let's talk about how he tried to shame her for the work that she did or does as a webcam model. Mike thinks that just because she's a sex worker, she's not allowed to say no to him. And I think she has every right to say no to him. And what about the fact that he tried to shame her? He himself is ashamed of what she does for work and how they met. Why didn't he just tell TLC how they met? And why didn't he tell them that he visits that webcam site every day? And Mike did say some pretty awful things about Ximena. He called her out her name, called her the B word, called her cold, evil, mean, said something else in Spanish, accused her of using him. And by the way, she didn't use him. They had an agreement. And I guess in the agreement, they kind of were using each other. But it was a fair exchange. Mike definitely tried to degrade Ximena by exposing the type of work she does. And if he really cared about her family and her kids, he would never have done that. But it looks like he ended up humiliating himself by trying to expose her, because now we know what we know. And I can't seem to get the image out of my head of Mike going to that campsite every single day. But I guess it's okay because he's the one that pays, right? And Ximena is the villain. And hey, Mike, just because you pay for things doesn't mean you own her. You can't buy human beings. Like I said before, Ximena spilled her own tea, but many people didn't believe her. They chose to believe Mike. Yeah, they would never believe that Mike would ever date a cam girl, no way, or go to the site every single day and wank. I guess it's easier to believe that he is sweet and innocent and that he's getting used by a beautiful South American woman. And if you want receipts, just go on to Ximena's Instagram. I think the video is still up. From the looks of things on social media, Ximena has moved on. She's got herself a new man. And the rumor is that she is engaged. She got a ring on her birthday. She's wearing that ring on her finger. She's also launched her unfiltered account and she promotes it on Instagram. So it's pretty obvious that she's not after Mike's spare coin, because if she was, she would have continued to put up with the burping, the nasty tissues, the farting while on top of her, and also the burping while on top of her, his messiness, and whatever the rest was. I guess we could add the gross, gross, gross stuff to that. But I'm happy for her. As for Mike, we have seen his true colors, the alleged transphobic posts and racist posts. And he has yet to issue an apology or a denial or say anything about it. Heck, we don't even know if he owns that Instagram or if that's his Instagram. But it's just strange that he hasn't said anything about it, because if he was not responsible for the posts, you would think that he would have come out and said, hey, that's not my Instagram. Anyway, he has shown his true colors also with the treatment of Ximena. Regardless of the work that she does, she is still a person and should not be treated the way that Mike treated her? What are your thoughts? Don't hold back. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go look for me on Twitter and Instagram. I love you guys. Bye.